In today's video, we are going to discuss all the basic Philidor positions. And this is the position we have in front of us. The point of Philidor position is that you are going to cut the opponent king on the 6th rank if the pawn is still on 5th rank. And you will ask white to play this move c6, because whenever he is going to play this move c6, then it will be a dead drawn. So the first move in this position is that rook c6. You are cutting this rank over here. Now this king can't advance. And if white goes for king h8 check, then king c7, rook h7 check, king c8, king e5, and there is no way that white can make progress, because now you go after the pawn immediately. King d5, king d6, sorry, rook g6. Now if white plays the move c6 in here over here, finally white has pushed the pawn. And now it is a dead draw. The reason is that you are going to immediately bring your rook back to g1. And you are going to continuously give the checks to this king. And there is no way that white king can stop these checks. For example, king d4, rook d1 check, king c5, rook c1 check, king d5, rook d1 check, king e6, rook e1 check, king again d5, rook d1 check. And there is no way that white can stop these checks. We come back to our position that after rook c6, if white plays the move, white tries to come from over here, side of the board. Then what? Still, you are going for rook c6, giving the move to white. If king comes over here, king to b5, now the same move, king to g6. Whether you can play also, sorry, rook to g6 or rook to f6. Both of the moves work. And there is no way that white king can enter in this position. So remember that in this Philidor position, you can make a draw by controlling this 6th rank if the pawn is still on the 5th rank. And you ask white to push this pawn. And whenever he is going to push this pawn, then it is a dead drawn. You are just going to come back over here immediately. And now white king can't stop the checks. We are going to come to our next position. And for example, you have misplaced the Philidor position. Then you can convert it to Louisiana position. You gave the check rook to d1, and that was a blunder. After king c6, now rook a1, rook h8 check, now king e7, king c7. Now king has to move king e6, and you have actually lost the game. So how convert it? You have to move the rook over here, rook to e1. And now if rook h8 check, king e7, rook c7, now rook a1, c6, rook b1. And now you are controlling this side of the rook, king side, king to move from over here. And it is not for easy for white to if he does not know the theory, he might draw this game, but it is actually a winning one for white. Because after king c8, rook c1 again threatening the pawn, c7 by white, for example, now rook b1. If you play the move rook c2 over here, now king b7, rook b2 check, king a6, rook a2 check, king b5, rook b2 check, king a4, rook a2 check, now king b3, and white is controlling these two squares. So after rook b1, these are very tough positions actually. Rook h4 by white, now rook b3 by black, and now rook e4 check. The point of this maneuver of white rook is that he's going to say that okay, I'm your king is very nearer to this pawn. It should be moved out of the way. If you move over here, king to f6, now it is a lost position. And if you move over here, king d6, you are still in the game. And it is still very tricky because after king d8, now rook h3, rook, rook has to move, rook into e8, king into e8, and still you have lost. So remember that never try to give check from over here. Immediately go for taking control of this sixth rank. If you will give check over here on d1, the position is lost. So we move to another position. Here we have a bishop and rook versus rook. And we can mate the black king. Because this bishop is covering the dark squares, black king has just these 4 squares to move to. 5 squares to move to. And how we can do it? The point is that rook d2 by black. Now the first move is that rook g7. Black tries his best defense playing the move rook f2. Now rook c7. Black tries again rook d2. Now first rook a7. Black goes for rook t1. How to make progress in this position? And you are going to just maneuver rook g7 after rook f1. Now bishop to g3 first. Even an intermezzo move to black. Black threatens the bishop. Bishop to d6. Black gives the check. And now bishop e5. And now it is black rooks to move. Just the remember the concept is that it should be white's move when black gives the check. In that way, you would be nearer to mate the opponent king. This is the concept. Now rook f3 now by black. Now you can go for rook e7 check. King moves to f8 to short scare side. Now rook b7 first. King moves to g8. He is trying to get away from over here. Now first rook g7 check. King f8. Now rook g4. And the second concept is that you are going to bring this rook and the king in the same file. Step by step. If here black plays the move, the best defense for black is to play the move rook e3, winning this bishop. But for example, if he plays the move rook d3, then you immediately goes for the mate because after rook f4, now you have the bishop has taken control of this check. Rook f3, now bishop h6 check first, king e8, now rook check and black rook has to come into it and it is a mate. So here how to continue after the move rook e3. The point is that you are going to give a waiting movement that is rook f4, h4. Now if black tries for rook g3, sorry. Now if black tries to play the move There is no defense over here for black because this check is coming devastating. It is actually a checkmate, and there is no way that black can stop this checkmate because this square is covered. Remember this type of structure you are going to achieve, that this rook, when it is at a position where he can't come into the check, your rook is going to give the check, and this black rook is unable to come into the check, then it would be a win for white. The second way is that after rook d2, for example, black plays the move immediately rook b7, rook c2. It is a mate just in two moves. The best defense is still you are going to play the move rook d1. And remember, this bishop is controlling this square over here on g3. This bishop is controlling this square on c3, and this bishop would be controlling this square wherever it would move. For example, over here on g3, on c3, it would be controlling this square e1. So, for example, if rook moves over here, the best move over here is rook h7 by white. Then rook f1 again, rook c7, just giving the move away, rook d1, now bishop c3. The point is that this rook is protecting this bishop over here, and this bishop is controlling this square of check to the king. So the rook has to move. Rook goes back, rook d8. Now the move is rook h7. Now white is saying that I'm going to give you the checkmate from over here in this position. If instead over here, the only best way for the defense of the black is to play the move rook to d3, for example. Now the move is bishop f6 first. Now this bishop is controlling this square, d8 square. So rook has to give the check, rook e3 check, rook bishop to e5. The rook comes again, control this square. Now rook e7 check first. Black tries to escape, for example, to here, and now see this rook and king are in the same file. Remember, this is the second thing you are going to achieve. First thing is that when you bring your bishop over here, it should be when the black rook gives you the check. The second thing you are going to achieve in this position is that the rook and king are in the same file. So position rook g7, king c8, for example. Now rook c7 check, king d8. Now you are controlling this square, and this rook can't come in the check. So king rook pins the bishop. How to continue? The point is that you are going to give a waiting move, rook b4. And the only way to stop the checkmate is that rook would have to take this bishop. This was a very tough one, but I think you have grasped the concept that how you can go for a checkmate in the position if the king and the rook, king is in the corner of any side of the board. We have another position here. This king is over here, this rook is over here. We have same position, bishop and rook. And now it would be more easy. First the king was over here on d8. Now it is on f8, nearer to corner. So how to continue? Same. Black plays the move rook e1. Now rook h7, going for the checkmate. Rook g1, trying to stop the checkmate. Now bishop h3. The point of the bishop is that bishop is controlling this square of check. First, rook g3, threatening the bishop. Now bishop e6. Now again, going for the checkmate. Black gives you the check, and now you have achieved this position. Rook g3 once again, and now rook f7 check. First, king has to move. If it moves to g8, then rook c7. And now this rook is going to give the checkmate over here. King h8. And see, everything is covered. And is it is going to be made. Rook c4. Now white is going for a checkmate from this side. Again. Because when white is going to give the check, king would be over here. And it would be in the same file of the rook. Rook g1. Now rook h4 check. King g8. And now bishop e6 check. King f8. Now rook h8 check. Rook g8. Rook into g8 checkmate. I hope you have understood the concept that how to continue with bishop and into rook. For example, we have a position in front of us, and now from the start, the rook is pinning this bishop, and this king is not on 6th rank, it is on the 5th rank. Now you can draw this position. The point of this position is only that you are going to continuously pin this bishop. You would continuously try to pin this bishop. So for example, rook e1, king d5, rook f8. The point, if white escapes the pin, then he can slide to the opposite direction and he may come over here. So bishop f5, now rook e7. Now the rook is cut and you are threatening for the exchange of the rooks. So rook e8 check, king f7. Rook a1, king f6. Now this king is in the nearer to the center. Bishop c8, now rook e5 check, king d6, rook e2. You have cut the complete board over here. You see, this black rook is cutting this part of the complete board. Rook f1 check, king g5, bishop b7, rook e3, giving a waiting move, king d5, rook e2, still giving the mating move, king d4, now rook e7. Keep the opponent cut out of these squares from the center squares as long as possible, and black can achieve a draw. For example, our last position is that we have a queen versus rook and we have this position in front of us and it is a win for white. The point is that how to win it, you are going to come over here, give the check. When the king will move over here, then you are going to give a passing move. First, I'm going to show you how. King check, king moves over here. Now you are going back for over here to a1, then to over here to a5, and you are going to take control of this triangle. When it would be black's to move, the triangulation method, which we use with the pawns, but here you are going to use it with the queen. Now queen a1 check first, king b8, now queen a5. And in this position, black is in zugzwang. In the first position, it was the white's move. Now it is black's to move. And wherever black moves, he is going to lose because after, for example, he moves to rook b1, you are going to just win the rook over here. I'm going to show you queen check. Now king to a7, queen d4 check, and you are going to pick up this rook over here. 8, now queen h8 check, king a7, now queen a7 check, and you are going to pick up the rook. The main concept is here that when you have reached in this type of position, that remember it should be the blacks to move, not whites to move. So you give the check, king moves, you give the check, king moves, you come over here and in this position, now it is blacks to move. And after that, you are going wherever the rook moves, for example, over here, over here, over here. With the checks, you are going to pick up this rook and win the game. If you like my today's video, kindly subscribe and hit the bell icon button. Thank you very much.